Hey guys, and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the West Coast. So this map is one of the most highly anticipated maps that I have seen for Farm Sim 17, and it is finally here. So this map is to basically embody the west coast of England, and this map is pretty much a fictitious place. It's not to represent any real life location on the west coast of England, but more or less just represent the entire west coast as a whole. So this map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com mod hub, and as the filming of this video, this map is for PC and Mac only. This map is to be released at some point for console, but as of this video, this is currently a PC and Mac only title. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So as we do with our first impressions video, we're going to go ahead and pick our gator. I'm going to pull up the log and take a look. You can ignore this warning that relates to a different map. So we wait for everything to load up. Let's see, we have some animated horses. We've got a, looks like we have an animated farmer, a dog. Looks like we've got plenty of starting equipment loading in here. So just go ahead and wait for this to load up. All right, looks like we're loaded up. And here we are. So here's our starting point. And I have to say, this map does take the cake for unique starting positions. There are some other maps that I have seen that have fairly unique starting positions. See here, Dowland Farms has you starting at a train depot. Let's see here, there's another map that has you starting Southern Cross, that's it. Southern Cross from the mod contest has you starting on top of a grain tower. And then this map, West Coast, has you starting in the middle of Field 19, which is a grass meadow. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. So here's our career start point, Field 19. You can see we're pretty much not close to anything. We have one farm here, one farm here, a farm here, 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 and here. So there are 6 farms on this map that you can, 6 farms on the map that you can basically farm out of, and you start here on field 19. So this is not a map where I would really suggest that you use the no teleport mod because you'll either need to drive here and park every time you quit the game, so you'll be able to jump in a vehicle, or you're going to be walking for quite a bit of time before you finally make your way to a farm, at which time you can get into a vehicle. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the starting crop types. This map has all the standard crop types, nothing extra. And if we look at how many fields that we own fields 10, 15, 30, and 14, and 81. So we start by owning 4 fields, or 5 fields. And let's take a look and see how they are planted. So fields 10, 15, and 14 have arable crops. Field 30 and 81 are both grass. Okay. We have 4 main sell points on this map that will buy all of our crops. We have 1 sell point only for potatoes and sugar beets. We have 2 sell points for wood chips. Of course, a sell point for wool and silage, and our sell point for hay, straw, and grass sales. As you can see, we start with a fair bit of starting equipment on this map, all of which is new and has low operating hours. So you'll get fairly cheap maintenance, or if you should decide you wish to sell this, you'll get pretty good sell rates. Let's go ahead and take out a loan so we can buy some animals on our tour. Alright. We have all three animal types on this map, but we don't start with any animals and nothing in the various feed troughs. And our silo has a capacity of 100,000 liters. So I do know that there are gold nuggets on this map. We will not be picking up gold nuggets on this video. In fact, we will try to avoid them if at all possible. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting equipment. There we go. So we start on this map with 4 tractors that range in horsepower from 143 horsepower to 240 horsepower. Interesting enough, we start with 2 Fendt Vario 700s. One looks like it's fully decked out as far as the engine, and the other looks like it's fairly standard. We have 2 front loader arms, a bucket, a pallet fork, and a bale spike for your front loader. We have the Activa Massey Ferguson 7347 harvester with grain header and header trailer. We have a decent sized tipper, a cultivator, plow, and seeder. We have a fertilized sprayer. We have the side sling pottinger mower. We have a tedder, windrower, a forage wagon. We have a round baler and round bale wrapper, and a water trailer. That's our starting equipment. Let's go ahead and lease up our gator so that we'll have something to drive around in. And let's take a look at the shop. So the shop is over here, and let's go ahead and hit reset and see what happens. Okay, let's see. So the reset point is over here just south of this farm here, which I think is Hill Ridge Farm. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. You can see the PDA has all of the player farms identified with colors and names. There's also potato storage, sugar beet storage, and 2 footpaths on the map. So the potato and sugar beet storage are over here. Potato storage is here. Sugar beet storage is here. And this is obviously the footpath, the white dotted line that meanders around the map from north to south. And then there's a little bit of a footpath over here. So since we started out here basically in the middle of nowhere, we might as well, let's see here, take a little footpath around to the farm here where we start, or at least where the reset point is. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see, this map does have a custom sky installed, and the sunrise over here. It's a rather beautiful sunrise. I can only expect that the sunset will be just as spectacular. Alright, we are somewhere in the footpath, so let's just go ahead and try to follow the dashed line. I have to say the concept of a footpath through farmland is a bit of a foreign idea to me. Being an American, we wouldn't have public footpaths through private property, as you will. There's a little hint that you may wish to walk the footpath to find nuggets. They are a nugget to plenty along the footpath. I don't know if you can hear it, but there are lots of ambient sounds on this map, especially around the footpath itself. So the footpath winds its way around over to that lighthouse. We're not going to go quite that whole distance. There's another nugget. Oops, I accidentally picked that one up. So this is part of the footpath actually winds through a field that you own. And interesting enough, if you plow this, the footpath will remain unless you enable create fields, and at that point in time you would be able to plow that under. Oops, I don't want to get these nuggets, so we're just going to go this way, and let's meander back this way to the farm. Like I said, I'm not going to go all the way over there on the footpath. We will make our way over to that part of the map through our own natural exploration with the gator. These must be, I don't know what those are. Are those like bee or bug things? Alright, so here we are at the Hill Ridge Farm. So this is one of the player farms, and I would suppose that this would be the default or starting farm, since the vehicle reset point is at this location. It would kind of have made sense, at least in my mind, to have had the career start point be here on this farm, as opposed to being out in the middle of field 19. I'm sure that we were put out there for the purpose of getting the viewer or getting the player, kind of the shock and awe of the scenery. But basically, if you don't tab, you're going to be running around until you get back to a farm that does have a piece of equipment before you can really start. So we've got on this farm, we've got some storage here. We've got a fuel point. We've got a water point there. And we've got seed is around the corner. So something that's unique about West Coast is this concrete texture. This is really awesome concrete. It's kind of a brushed or scratched concrete, and if you look, you can really see the aggregate rocks and everything that make up the concrete there. These buildings seem to have been reworked a bit also to provide a bit different textures on them, and the concrete extends on in to these buildings. It extends on underneath all of these. So this would be our main farm silo, where we have our dump point here on the bottom, and we've got our fill point right there out the pipe. Again, we have more buildings. You can really hear the ambient sounds of the map. They are fairly loud at times, but they are rather nice. So here we have our fill point for seed and fertilizer and liquid fertilizer. Got some more storage. And here is our reset point. So this particular meadow here is not numbered. It is kind of an unnumbered field, if you will. There for a little while I thought it was field 13, and that Bullet Bill just didn't number field 13 due to maybe being a little bit superstitious. But then I found field 13 down here, so that kind of negated that idea. So we're going to do our best to drive around as zoomed out as possible so that we can really take in the sights of the map. And before we go too much further, I actually want to go over here. And when I first was exploring this map, I actually walked the footpath. More or less I ran the footpath. The entire length of the map. And the other footpath, which is over by the castle. So there is a rather nice part of the footpath. It's a little further down here that I wanted to take everybody to, and then we'll get back onto our normal map drive around. So the field to our right, we own that particular field right there. Alrighty, so this is where I want it to. This is where I want to jump onto the footpath. So we just make our way down here, and I'm going to be rather quiet so you can hear the background ambient sounds. Alright, so hopefully you were able to hear the birds chirping there in the water. There's still birds chirping in the background that I hear. So we do have also, and I really love these custom for sale signs. We have 2.23 hectares, $36,000, very affordable land. You'll see that these have no missions available because they are grass. There are missions that are available on select fields. So we're going to go ahead and run up here and run on over to where our gator's parked. Okay, our gator's over here. Alright. Now let's go ahead and turn on around. And let's get back with our map tour. I just wanted to show you that little waterfall area. Let you listen to the ambient sounds on the map. There are lots of spots on this map that have just kind of extra ambient sounds to kind of liven up the whole area. So let's take a look at these two for sale signs. So here we have for sale pasture arable, and over here we have for sale pasture arable. Okay, this one says no mission. Alright, let's check this one out. No mission. So I'm pretty sure that I had heard that on the fields that have missions that there will be a different for sale sign. I don't think I'm mixing this information up with a different map, but I might be. So we're just going to check some more fields around the map that have crop in them and see if we can't find some that do have missions. Oops. Alright, so this for sale sign is down here. So the first thing we want to do is let's go this way, and our potato storage is up here. And you'll see, let's jump out and take a look over here. You'll see signs like this all over the map. So potato cold storage is this way. Have public footpath is marked. So you'll see signs for the public footpath, you'll see signs for the potato storage. So here we go. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, so we have a light switch over here which turns on our outside light. It does not turn on what looks like inside lights. There's what looks like lights here, maybe, but I've not found a light switch that works for these. And in fact, there's a light switch in here that when I tried it the other day, I couldn't get it to work. It says light switch on and off, and I'm clicking, and basically I'm getting nothing. Oh, there we go. Alright, I got it that time. Alright. So it's working, it's just, I wonder if I flip this on. Well, are these lights on now? Okay, those lights are not on. But at any rate, I think earlier I was thinking it wasn't working, but it's just because the lights weren't overly bright. Alright, so let's check this field. Alright, no mission available on that one. Let's go over here and check this one. Alright, that's just grass. That won't have a mission in it. Where's this one at? Okay. we'll keep searching until we find. I know there are missions on this map because I have seen postings over at FSUK as to people that were talking about the mission spawn points. We're having some issues with some of the equipment that the game was basically giving them that was spawning in kind of an odd way. So I do know that there are missions. We just need to figure out, are the field signs special or not. So here we have a sign, sugar beet storage. Oh, no, I haven't got to the road yet. Pay attention. Alright. So, sugar beet storage is ahead. Again, we'll jump out. So the sugar beet storage, which is right here, looks an awful lot like a possible silage bunker. But if we look, we'll see that there is no silage trigger. There's no chaff fill indicator popping up for this area. So this is indeed for sugar beet or potato dumping only. You're not going to probably put chaff there and get the compaction and all of that stuff as far as those triggers go. Let's back on out of here. And let's just go ahead and go to the lighthouse just to experience the beach here on the map. Let's go ahead and get in cab so we can see what's going on here. And we've got a road that's kind of going up into the wooded area. We've got a low bridge with a sign, so you don't want to be coming through here with too tall of equipment. And once again, we have our ambient sounds taking over. So I'm pretty sure you all can hear that without any issue. Got a fishing boat out here, fishing in the water. We've got a shipping boat, or I think a ship over here, docked at the dock. Alright, so that's a really nice space to come and relax a bit. Head on back, and for the sake of not having a 2-hour tour like a recent map video that I did, we're going to keep moving on. We do have 6 farms to visit. I do want to hit all 6 farms. So go on around here and let's try to find the oops. So as you can see, I'm driving through the hedges. So the hedges do not have collisions, but they are probably classic bullet bill hedges where if you bring a header trailer, you will not be able to bring a header trailer through the hedges. You won't be able to possibly, depending on your bale trailer, you may or may not be able to take your bale trailer through here also. So we're going to go ahead and what are we going to do? We're going to go across this way, and we're going to head our way over to the cow farm. That's how I kind of explored the map when I first did a drive around the other day. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So here is the entrance to the first farm that we already explored. We're going to go on past where we stopped for the waterfall. If you see off there to the left or to the right, right underneath the sun icon, is the castle. So as I was saying, they're probably classic bullet bill hedges, like Coldborough Park Farm, where you won't be able to bring a bale trailer. Depending on your bale trailer, you may not be able to bring a bale trailer through the hedges because the hedges have been designed to not allow bales to roll through. Alright, so let's see here. So, Little Woolhope. Alright, we want to turn left, I believe. Let's go ahead and, yep, looks like that's right. We've got some windy roads here. We've got a fairly large forestry area there to our right. And to our left here, you'll see on the PDA a big old brown spot. That, as we'll see here in a moment, is what appears to be a quarry or some form of mining operation. There isn't a cell point or anything down there. It's just kind of a static decorative thing, I'm assuming. So that's down there. Let's just check these utility poles to see if they are collisioned. Okay, so they do have collisions on this field. So you will have to worry about these utility poles and driving through them. I hit it there, but let's go ahead and check this field. Alright, it's the same sign. So that's obviously the cow farm. We're going to enter the cow farm through the proper entryway. We're not going to explore it by coming in this way. Alright, so here we have, it says dairy farm and is pointed this way. So let's go ahead and go this way to the dairy farm. So I had it a little backwards. The farm back there was not the cow farm. That may have been the pig farm. We'll see. Like I said, our plan is to explore all of the farms. Again, let's see if we can't find a field with a mission on it. Alright, I don't think this one will have mission. No, it does not. Alright, let's go over here and check out this one. Alright, where's the sign at? Oh, it's up here. Nope. Alright, so this is an entrance into one of the forestry areas. Clearly marked. Really like the signage on this map. The map has plenty of signage going on. So we're not going to bother with going up into the forestry area other than to just point it out. So you'll notice that the roads are fairly narrow. It's going to be a pretty difficult drive with super big equipment. In fact, I'm a little surprised at the starting equipment being the medium-sized Massey Ferguson harvester. That would probably be a pretty big challenge to get down through some of these roads, especially with the traffic on some of the paved roads. So here we are coming into the cow farm. And it says here, it says Mountain View Farm. So we've got our tedder over here. So we've probably got our grass equipment over here. Again, we have our fertilizer and our seed fill points over here. There we go. Here we have the grass field that we own. And let's go up. There's our water trigger. So none of these farms are overly large in size. They basically have the buildings they need to support the operation. So here we've got a small shed, another small shed here. Got a enclosed building here. Here's our silage clamp for our cows. You can see the fill chaff level trigger. We got another little bit shed. This map is seasons prepared, so there is a snow mask on the map. This is where we will buy our cows. And let's go ahead and open that up. Now this is another little issue I've got with the map. Just because I don't like static animals in the animal farms. I mean, they'd be okay if they weren't constantly here. If as soon as you walk in here, even before you own any cows, you have got the you got the cow sounds going on. It'd be nice if maybe these things could only show up when if these things only showed up when you had actually purchased animals. So right here we have our silage trough for feeding our animals. Our silage. Around the back here we have a grass trough. And then around the corner here we have our water trough. Okay, so you can obviously come in through the cow barn, or you can come in through this gate right here. Interesting enough, this particular area here is a sell point for hay, straw, or grass. So that is not a don't put bales in there to feed, or you're going to be finding that they're just going to disappear, and you're going to get a little money for them. So this is our slurry tank. This is where you're going to come to get your slurry for your cows, or from your cows. And the manure pit is around the side here. There you go. So that, guys, is the cow farm. It's pretty straightforward. There's some more moo cow action going on. Let's go ahead and close that gate up. And let's turn around, because there isn't much more to see up here. All the fields up here by the grass, or by the cow farm, are grass planted already, simply to support your cow operation. You really don't need much actual crop other than maybe corn if you're going to do corn chaff. So let's continue back down this road here and make our way to the farm that's directly in front of us. So let me know, guys, what other maps do you know that have a rather unique starting position? I'm a little curious to kind of come up with an interesting list of farms or of maps that have a your not so typical starting position. So a little Woolhope farm is across the street here from the drive that goes up to the cow farm. I'm going to go ahead and meander our way up in here. And this is actually a this is not an animal farm. This is a player farm from the standpoint that you could use it, but this is kind of set up to be a farm of a local farmer, if you ask me. So we've got some storage building here. Okay, and this storage building is also a sell point for hay, straw, and grass. We have several outbuildings here. Here we have static cows and static hay, I guess, in the feed troughs. Not a big fan of static animals, as I said already. Here we've got seed, fertilizer, diesel fuel, fill points. Let's check this. Oh, no emissions. Alright. Now, I like this. We've got kind of like a walking path behind the barn. I thought that was pretty cool. There for a second I thought I saw a gold nugget. More of these storage buildings. And this one's set up with a center wall that you could use to tip into if you wanted. As is this one. This particular area does have a silo. So you can use this as a silo. You can tip in here and fill out of there. And then we've got 2 silage bunkers here at this farm. Again, we've got that really awesome concrete texture on these bunker walls. You can see we kind of have some moisture stains from the silage fermentation process. Really nice details on that. Alright, so let's go ahead and back on out of here. And that's farm number 3 that we've been to. Just 3 more farms to go. Oh, wait. Slow down. We got something else to see back here. I completely ignored this. And we need to touch on that. So, on the map here, let's turn around here. So on the map, this particular area is marked as farm silo on the map. Okay, you'll notice when we looked at our prices screen, we have a farm silo that has zeros for price. That's because this is a storage silo, but it is marked on the map. Something else of note. Let's see if I can find it here. Where is it at? So we come around here. Yep, it's around here. Let's open this. Okay. And there it is. Alright, so lift this up. That, my friends, is a sell point. This is the sell point for the farm. Okay, so if we look here, we have Little Woolhope Farm is a sell point for crops. If we look at our PDA, zoom in, you'll see we are right on top of the Little Woolhope Farm's sell point. So that is a sell point. Okay, so if you're looking for the sell point for Little Woolhope, there you go. There is one other farm on the map that has the same setup. Oh, we have a customized repair trigger here. I'm sure they're at the other 2 farms. I just did not see them to point them out to you. Let's go ahead and see if we're lucky enough to have missions on this field. Nope, no missions available. Okay. So now that is 3 farms. We're now done with this one. Sorry about forgetting that little bit of a detail. So we're going to make our way around to the garden center next. And then after that, we're going to go to what looks like the pig farm. Let's go ahead and check this field. I'm bound and determined to find a field. There we go. Here we are. This is what I wanted. So on fields that have missions, it says mission available. There you go. On fields that don't have missions, we already know what those signs look like. We're not going to point them out again. Okay, no more need to looking at field sizes or fields. So, let's here we're coming into Little Woolhope right now, which is kind of a little kind of a farming residential area. We've got a local shop here. This is post office. The post office will buy our looks like it's a post office and a little grocery store. They will buy our eggs. Just for ambiance, we have the Rusty Nail, which is our local pub, and we can see we've got guys that are coming out of there. And right here we have the garden center, and this is a buy point for manure, or a manure sell point, sorry. They will buy your manure, or you will sell your manure there. They will not sell you manure. Let me clarify that. I guess we go this way. So up here on our left, on our right, sorry, is the this is the horse stable. This is another buy point for hay straw bales. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. And take a listen to the ambient sounds. Here we have two animated horses. Lots of ambient horse sounds here at this horse stable. And then this is where you would sell your hay, straw, and grass. Or another hay, straw, and grass sell point. Alright. Now, up here we have the pig farm. At least I think it's the pig farm. We can take a look at this sign here. Pig farm. That is definitely the pig farm. And here's the pig farm, and we got Stonehill Farm here. Let's go ahead and pull on in. So at the pig farm, we've got our water trigger right here at the house. We've got some storage sheds here. We've got ourselves our manure pit. Through the gate here, we have the slurry pit. And then around the corner here, we have our pig enclosure. It's interesting that you got to go into the pig enclosure to get to your slurry pit. You would think that you'd probably want to have this gate up if that's the case, because you don't want your pigs wandering into the slurry pit. That would make for probably a pretty bad morning to come in and find some number of pigs had fallen into the slurry there. So over here we've got our trigger to deliver or buy our pigs. And then we have the feed trough and the water trough. And the straw trigger is probably in here. Let's take a look. Yep. Looks like there's a trigger back here for straw. That's what it looks like. And then of course we've got our shed here that we have at so many of the other farms. And that's pretty much the pig farm. There's not a lot going on here. It would have been interesting to have seen this farm also have a silo system, given that the pigs, their dietary requirements are pretty significant with respect to the different types of food that they need. I think this area would have merited a silo system so that you could store your pig materials down here. Let's take a look here, and let's go ahead and go back on. Oops, I don't want to do that. I'm going to head back out the road this way. So now we can make our way back around. Now there are several nice silo systems now that are placeables. So it may be that you can simply put a placeable silo down here at the pig farm. Else you're going to be pretty much transporting a whole bunch of food, pretty significant amount of food on a fairly regular basis down here to the pig farm. Over here we have our sawmill. Let's go ahead and venture on in here. So we have here obviously a trigger for wood chips. Do you think wood chips go here? Again, this map has plenty of signage to clearly denotate certain things. Here we have our wood and log sell point, or trigger. And then over here, I found this a bit interesting. If you get over here close to these logs, they'll start to do a little shimmy. You see the log over here? You see the log shaking over there? Not really sure what's going on, but just coming up to them makes them quiver. I think maybe they're thinking back about when they were standing vertical, and we came through with our chainsaw and cut them down. I think it's giving them some bad memories, so they start quivering. Just found that a little interesting when I was doing my first walk around. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and back on out of here and head on down the road. So there's a few interesting design elements that I thought about this map that are really unique. So right over here, let me try to get right above the clock, okay, and the money amount, you'll see what looks like the high point on the map, and basically it's like a rocky field outcropping. We're gonna go up there real fast and take a look around. It's something that I haven't really seen on other maps as far as a design element, and I thought it was pretty much worth showing off and pointing out. Now I'm technically going over here the wrong way, but it's because I want to see if I can't basically drive up there. Completely the wrong way. It's technically a footpath, but we're going to see if we can't get in here and can't sneak in here or not. Let's get to where I can actually see something. There we go. Alright, like I said, I want to drive up there and I want to show you all this. It's pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. Oh, let's get out of here. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna have to jump out at this point. Oh, here's our farmer and our dog, just out for a stroll up through here. So what we have here, and I thought this was a really great, we got tons of nuggets up here, by the way. A really great element to the map is up here we have kind of a overview of the entire map. Really, this is the highest point on the map, I believe. And what we've got is we've got basically a grass meadow here, and I don't know if there's any way to get into this meadow or if this is completely fenced off. But I think this would be so awesome if you could get up here and mow this, because you've got here rock outcroppings, if you will, where kind of the dirt has eroded away from these rocky areas. You've got rock exposed here. This looks so much like so many places that I've been, where you've got rocks that are just kind of poking their way through the ground, through erosion and whatnot. So I just felt that This type of attribute really we haven't seen on too many maps, or I haven't seen on any maps really, for that sake. And I wanted to call everyone's attention to it. I thought it was a really nice element. And like I said, I don't know if there's a way into this or if it's completely fenced off. But I would hope that there would be some way of sneaking in here and mowing this space. That would be really neat, I think. And this farmer guy, he just basically walks up and down this road. The dog runs up and down the path. Alright, so enough of that diversion. We're going to make our way back down to that road. So we can continue on. Because it's rather interesting. We basically have to get on what we would call in the States a divided highway, or a divided, basically a divided highway in order to get to the next part of the map, the next sell points. So we're just going to go right on past the pig farm here again. And then basically we get on what we would call in the States an exit or an on-ramp, basically, to merge onto the divided roadway. So we turn around here to our sawmill again. And what we need to do is we need to take this road right here. I think that's the right way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I got on this completely the wrong way last time. Because I'm noticing that these signs are backwards to the direction I'm driving, which would kind of give me an indication that I'm going the wrong way. But then again, I don't know. We'll just follow this guy, I guess. But the road signs are backwards this way also. Oh, there we go. That sign's... See, this sign is pointing that way. So that way is obviously the wrong way. Is maybe traffic going the wrong way on this road? I don't know, but it felt like this was the right way to go last time. So we're just going to go that way again, even though we got the signs backwards there. Just keep making our way around. Drop down a level. And now the signs are the correct way, and there we go. That's the direction to travel. And now we're basically on a divided highway. I don't know if in the UK this would be called a, I think what do they number the roads, like B1 or A1 or A2 or something. So I'm not really sure how this road would rate. That's kind of like a pull off area. And we're coming up here to the frontier sell point. Coming into our circle. And here we are at the frontier sell point. We have a big old pile of sugar beets there. Have our scale, so we'd come through here and then we'd tip on into our sell point here and make our way back on around. We've got mounds of sugar beets here. We've got mounds of potatoes over here. And this particular sell point takes both sugar beets and potatoes. Okay. So you would think that maybe you would tip your potatoes in there. No. Maybe you tip your sugar beets in there. Let's take a look. And no, there's no trigger there. So really, you dump everything here. I think it would be really interesting is if you had to put your sugar beets there and your potatoes there, as opposed to dumping them in the grate. Clearly, they're not going to fall through there. But maybe that's for another day. And then this is just a mound. Oh, there's no trigger there either. Let's get on in our traffic circle and make our way, continue to make our way around the map here. So the next farm that we're going to get to is our sheep farm. Oh. Now this road says pig farm, and if we take that farm it will go all the way over to the pigs. We're not going to take that. We've already been to the pig farm. So we're just going to drive first person just for a few minutes. And here is our sign for the sheep farm. Let's turn on in here. This is the River Rock farm. Oops. Get out of the hedge. So we come up here on this hillside, and here we are. We are now in the sheep farm. Here we've got sheep sounds already. And what we see is, again, not a big fan of static critters. We're at the sheep farm. I think animated sheep are plenty good enough. There we go. Let's buy ourselves up some sheeps. Here we have our grass trough and our water trough for our sheeps. And we've got some static sheep here in the back. I assume that our animated sheep will meander up here through the top front section. Okay. In addition here we've got just some general storage. Here we've got our fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and seed fill points. We do have a silage bunker over here at the sheep farm. Additional storage sheds here and there. Plenty of storage around here. Here we've got some additional grass equipment over here. And that's pretty much the sheep area. Not a lot going on at all of these. Form and function, that's what's important here on the farms. There we go. All right, let's make our way down here. And we still need to get to the BGA. That should be over here somewhere. Oh, I was not paying attention there. We've got road signs all over the place. This one's obviously seen better days. It's a bit dirty. It's really nice that it's not super shiny, super clean. Alright, here we have our wool sell point. Okay, so here they'll take wool. Wednesday stores. takes our wool. Alright. Oops. Okay, there's our BGA. I was going to say, we have not been through town yet. We need to still get through town. And then we need to get to the BGA. And then we'll circle back around to the very last farm, which is basically accessed through this road that's directly in front of us. So here we have a, hey, buddy. I'm sightseeing here. We have a nice river. You can hear the water flowing through here. Nice crystal clear water. You almost expect to see little fishies swimming down there under the water. At any rate, let's go ahead and go through town here. This is our BGA. You'd come in this way and you tip your grain here. The biogas plant will take grain right here where we are tipping in. And then we have one silage bunker over here. Oops, wrong trigger. For the BGA. And then we have our Silo King buried right here. Okay. Now this is a ramp, as if you can bring a trailer up here and tip in. But this trigger is not configured to accept tipping. I had pulled this map up the other day to check something for somebody else who had posted on a forum for a completely different map. Basically, they were wondering how to make this how to make the Silo King. Basically, they wanted to put a ramp in and tip their silage in with a tipper. And I basically said, well, just adding a ramp isn't going to do it. You need to go in the XML and modify the trigger to allow trailers. So here's our digestate, and here's our wood chips. And I had already downloaded this map, and I went ahead and just opened up the this particular map because I didn't have handy the map that they were asking the question about. And when I pulled up this map has allow trailers equals false. So you will not be able to drive up there and tip in the silage. I'm not really sure why the ramp's there, other than maybe just to facilitate it an easier way to bring in your what am I trying to say? Your silage through the use of a front loader. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so over here, I think we have our equipment shop. Possibly this way. I know I get a little lost coming through here. There we go. So we do have train on this map. It's not a drivable train. It is a animated train. That just comes through periodically. I don't know how often it comes through. Here's our vehicle shop. Pretty standard stuff. You've got your shop trigger there, and you've got your customize and sell trigger right there. And our animal dealer is also here in town. Now, I need to figure out how to get there. Basically, you need to go this way. And I think you turn in. I think you turn in right here. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. There you go. So you turn in on the opposite side of the tracks to get to the animal market. Here's the animal market. And here's your trigger to buy all your animals. We've got a fairly loud and active animal market. I'm sure you can hear the background sounds. All right. Let's go ahead and get on out of that space. That space is awful loud. So let's go ahead and drive through town again. To where I can see. So I thought this was. Oh no, we'll go the other side. We won't stop here. We'll stop over the other side. We got our beachfront here. We've got our shops, our fuel station. We have our blinking crosswalk lights there, I suppose. And we've got a little fishing dock and boat dock here that I wanted to show you something on. We've got Bullet Bill's flag up here with his logo. We have Frontier Design umbrellas. So anywhere that there's an umbrella on the map at a table, they're all going to be Frontier Design umbrellas. Again, you can hear all of the ambient background sounds to the map here. And then we've got a nice dock that comes out to crystal clear water. This is amazing. You see right on down through there. Amazing how clear the water is. We got ourselves a fishing boat out here, a couple of dinghy sailboats, and a powerboat. So it's just a nice little place to come and maybe watch the sunset, or watch the the sunrise I guess is on the other side, but I'm sure you can watch the sunset there. All right. Let's get on a cab. Let's turn around here. And let's get across this bridge. And we'll make our way over here to the castle. There's another walking path to the castle. And then we'll get to the last farm. Okay, that's not where we want to go. Here's the river, and this is the road we want to turn on. Busy intersection here. It's definitely got a lot of traffic on that road. Alright. So this is going to wind us around here to the footpath to go up to the castle. I guess that's technically on the other side of the railroad tracks. Oh no, there's a bridge there. Oh, here comes that train. Here comes the train. Oh, come on. There's the train. There it goes. Alright. Over the railroad tracks. And that's where we go for the last farm, but we're just going to turn on in here and just go up here. We have River Rock Castle. This may be the actual only landmark related to the map, to give you maybe a sense. I don't know. I mean, it says riverrockcastle.co.uk, so I assume that this is a real place. But again, this map is not to be indicative of an exact location. It's more to be indicative, as I understand, of a generality of the entire general area. So here we've got our token castle. I don't think you'd have a you wouldn't have a British map without a castle, I don't think. We've got another fishing boat out there in the river, or in the ocean. Seagulls, other ocean sounds. a galore, not a galore. There's a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright. So the last farm I call the chicken farm. Let's get out of the hedge. So the chicken farm is right here. Gotta get out here. It's Clifftop Farm. Make our way along the tracks. And this farm is a fair bit back off the beaten path. We do have a decent amount of possible forested area here that we could clear out. Here we are. It's the last farm. I call it the chicken farm, but there are static pigs, I think, here. Nope, more static sheep. Again, we got static animals. Not such a big fan of them things. There we have our water fill. We have our chickens. I'm not really sure where the eggs would spawn. I would assume they would hopefully spawn in this area and not be free range all the way around here. Again, we got just some general light storage around here. Not a whole lot going on. You're not really going to be storing a whole lot of equipment over here, I don't think. We do have diesel fuel to help fill up your tractors if you're over on this side of the map and you need to fill up. Another one of the nice concrete sheds here. And did I miss it? Or is it here? There's your liquid fertilizer fill point. Oh man, I might have missed it. Okay, Clifftop. Now that's where we are. We are at Clifftop. Alright, there should be a silo dump around here. It's going to look just like that other side. There it is. So way back here in the back, this farm is another sell point. That is your sell point for Clifftop Farm. Just look for these two silos and then basically lift the gate and there's your dump. So that's the map. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, please go ahead and click the like button. If you are not a subscriber, please consider clicking the subscribe button. I do map videos every Tuesday and Thursday every week. In addition, we are doing a Let's Play 24-hour seasons series on Churn Farms. And we are also doing a online streaming 24-day series on Upper Mississippi River Valley, beta version 2.1, that we will be streaming. We'll try to be streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for that map. So, I encourage you to check out PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network. Both of those sites are really awesome websites for mature and adult gamers. No juvenile or kiddie behavior at those sites is allowed. And also encourage you to check out some of the other great YouTube content creators that are in my description. And until next time, happy farming.